news from the...
Would it kill them to let me know mission specs before the dead drop? Just once?
Good. It's a wonder you...
That was the ink spot, Smith. It's all over but the crime. Just when you thought you heard him, folks. There are tales being told about a very strange-looking machine being built out there in the Commonwealth. Your friend Travis here has yet to learn what this thing is for, but I can tell you, imaginations are real wild. Wackiest version I've heard so far is that this thing is supposed to somehow contact the Institute.
Attention all personnel. This is to serve as a reminder. Scribe Naraya's mole rat subjects are not pets. They are crucial military resources. As such, they are not to be fed by any personnel save Scribe Naraya and her team. Any violation of this policy will result in severe discipline.
I'll keep you up to date, as always. Next up is Big Maybell, bringing the house down with a whole lot of shaking going on.
Damn ferals. Radiation has a twisted sense of humor.
Security's too good.
Can't talk right now. Gotta clean the Mireless
Excuse me,
scat
Proctor
off
Teagan.
my boots.
With Liberty Prime back in action, this war's as good as won. Now, what can I do for you?
Let me see what you have.
All of my weapons are mission ready.
You know those synths with the plastic faces? They creep me the heck out.
Taking on a Deathclaw without backup is a great way to get yourself killed.
Hopefully the next recovery team will bring back some decent supplies. Been having to get real creative lately.
Hey,
Mess is self-service, brother. You take what you need. With the Prydwen in town, the Institute doesn't have a chance. Hungry. Rations are first come, first serve.
Our vertibirds should give us the air superiority we need to win this war.
Well, if it isn't the man who revived Prime, the Brotherhood is in your debt. Now, did you have documents for me? Or perhaps you were looking to take...
I found some technical documents for you.
Ah, good. I was beginning to run out of materials to study. Here are the caps that I promised. Remember, the Commonwealth is an almost unlimited source for these technical documents.
Hail Knight.
Hey there.
I can't wait to see Liberty Prime in action again.
Paladin Danse lied to all of us. I hope he hasn't been feeding the Institute information.
We really should just stay out of each other's way.
Dr. Lee.
Look, I'm really busy, and I'm not in the mood for talking.
Ad Victoriam, brother.
You've got a real knack for construction.
That was Personality by Johnny Mercer.
Let's trade.
Here's a strange state of affairs for you folks. Some or all of you may have heard of that old Parsons Asylum in the Northeast. You may also have known to stay away from it. I guess no one told a group of raiders about that because word is they attacked it recently. You'd think that might mean the place is overflowing with raiders right now. But you'd be wrong. It's empty. Abandoned. Now you could assume they got what they wanted and bolted. But given how creepy that place was, you can't help but wonder if something else happened. We may never know for sure, and you know what? That's okay with me. Now, Sheldon Allman wants his girl to crawl out through the fallout.
Crazy? I had no choice.
Yes?
You. Well, I suppose we can do business.
Let's see what you have.
Odds and ends.
Winona Harris, folks. Let's hope his grandma got the help she needed.
Got some great stuff, if
Now,
you're
folks,
interested.
I'm sure you've all seen or heard.
I'll take a look, sure.
about the latest
Self-defense at its best.
Some bold claims by our intrepid reporter. Since possibly living among us, undetected. Very serious implications. Wouldn't you agree? The mayor's office has, of course, issued a statement denying the validity of the article, saying all is well in Diamond City.
Swatters!
The
Right
mayor
here!
himself
Grab that interview you
says
gave.
that the
Then you said at the end,
article,
hope.
unfounded.
Good on you.
No, I guess. But between you and me, listeners, I'm gonna keep my eyes open just to be on the safe side. Well, never a dull moment here at Diamond City Radio.
Pam wants you. She explained why, but I couldn't figure it out.
Sorry, Tinker Tom got me.
Initiating dialogue mode. There is a reliable report of a courser at target location. Recommend rogue variable dispatches the courser.
You know anything else?
The only reliable data on the target is its location. Verbal acknowledgement required.
I'll do it.
Response logged.
Any news?
All blue, huh? Not a bad look.
You really walked the Freedom Trail? By yourself?
Bet you never met a synth before Glory.
Anything to report from the Institute? Up there, assume you're being watched. Always.
One more hour until my shift ends.
I'm very busy. Unless you need my medical expertise, please bother someone else.
Patch me up, Doc.
Tell me your symptoms.
You don't have cures for chem addiction, do you?
You're strong. Done. Now, was there anything else bothering you?
Feeling sick. I think it's radiation.
We'll clean you up. Don't worry. All done. Any other complaints?
Took a few bad hits recently. Got knocked around.
I've seen worse. Better stitch you up. Done. Now, was there anything else bothering you?
No other complaints.
Off you go, then.
Glad you're with us.
Going down.
Hostile target identified. Violence will not.
I hope I live long enough to watch the Brotherhood take control of the tower. True peace can only be achieved by superior firepower. I'm not surprised Maxson sent you. He never liked to do the dirty work himself. I'm warning you. If you leave here without following your orders, I'll be forced to carry them out. Is that what you want?
Hey there.
I'm not surprised Maxson sent you. He never liked to do the dirty work himself.
I don't understand what's going on, Danse.
Believe me, this is more of a shock to me than it is to you. I didn't know. Until Quinlan got that list decoded, I thought synths were the enemy. I never expected to hear that I was one of them. If it wasn't for Haylen, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So, what are your orders? Does Maxson even want me alive?
No. But I'm hoping there's a way out.
Don't be ridiculous. Look, I'm not blind to the fact that we're good friends, and this must be very difficult for you. I wish Maxson had sent someone else, but that doesn't change a thing. I'm a synth, which means I need to be destroyed. If you disobey your orders, you're not only betraying Maxson, you're betraying the Brotherhood of Steel and everything it stands for. Synths can't be trusted. Machines were never meant to make their own decisions. They need to be controlled. Technology that's run amok is what brought the entire world to its knees, and humanity to the brink of extinction. I need to be the example, not the exception.
I can't tell if that's the human or the machine talking.
The fact that you're confused only strengthens my decision. I'm ready to accept the consequences of my true identity. Maxson's ordered you to execute me, and I'll be damned if I'm going to stand in your way.
Is there any way out of this?
We both know that this is the right thing to do. If you refuse to follow Maxson's orders, you're undermining everything the Brotherhood stands for. I can't allow that to happen on my account.
If you're so eager to die, then do it yourself.
If you leave here without completing your orders, then I'll carry them out for you. Maxson's obviously testing you, and I refuse to be the one who causes you to fail.
If it needs to be done, then so be it.
I've never been prouder of you than I am right now, brother. It's been a pleasure serving with you. What the hell are you waiting for?
This doesn't seem right.
It doesn't matter. Don't let your feelings about me cloud your judgment. This decision is bigger than both of us. It's about the future of the Brotherhood. We must stay on mission, no matter the cost. Now, do it.
For the Brotherhood.
Going up. Ground floor.
Unless you like getting shot.
Report, Knight. Have you handled the situation with Paladin Danse?
I did what had to be done.
That's all I've ever asked of you. Of course, Dance's execution creates a missing link in our chain of command. That traitor held quite an important position with us. I'm certain that you'll make a fine replacement. His quarters and all his possessions are now yours, including his personal suit of power armor. Congratulations, Paladin.
I'm honored, Elder.
You've earned it by your own actions. Just be aware that a Brotherhood Paladin is expected to be a symbol of integrity to our brothers and sisters. I trust you won't disappoint them, or disappoint me. In any event, we still have the Institute to contend with, and a lot of work to do before we can begin our final assault. While the finishing touches are being put onto Liberty Prime, Captain Kells has identified a potential threat to our operations. Report to him immediately for your next assignment. Ad Victoriam, Paladin.
System deltas at 100%. Secondary deltas standing by.
Pinging remote units at 30-second intervals.
Ah, Paladin. Good. Now that the unfortunate matter regarding Danse has been settled, we can return to our primary mission.
I'm ready, Captain.
Good, because this mission demands your full attention. Now, before we launch our attack on the Institute, we need to address another threat. The Railroad. They're a small but capable group that uses subterfuge and guerrilla tactics to harass their enemies. Our tactical analysis says they could possibly hamper or harm our operations, which is a risk I'm not willing to take. If we strike them now, we should be able to maximize the amount of damage we do to their organization.
Why is the Railroad such a threat?
Even with their relatively small numbers, the Railroad is a constant threat to our operations. They've already proven to be resilient against superior forces, with a knack for disappearing when cornered. Worse still, they possess the capability to help synths flee the Institute. If we intend to end the synth menace, we need to plug the leaks. Destroying the Railroad hinges on completely eliminating their leadership. Otherwise, they'll simply regroup somewhere else. To that end, here's a list of the 5 targets we believe would cause a catastrophic failure in their chain of command.
Do they all have to die?
Absolutely. It's the only effective way of ensuring that they're no longer a threat. Now, before you depart, Proctor Ingram has additional orders for you to complete.
Our sources tell us that the Railroad has some sort of experimental or prototype robot in their headquarters. They're calling it the Predictive Analytic Machine, or PAM for short. Cute, huh? They use the robot for complex strategic calculations that are much more efficient than anything we can generate here. If you could use this holotape to decrypt the security on PAM's terminal, it will force the unit to return to the Prydwen. I'm certain we could put PAM's computing power to good use. Otherwise, destroy it. You wouldn't want it to fall into the Institute's hands.
Anything useful you can tell me about PAM?
We have very little information on it. Its primary function is supposed to be using mathematical calculations in order to predict future events. I have no idea how successful it was, but if the Railroad's been using PAM for this long, it's got to be providing them with some sort of benefit. I'm sure Proctor Quinlan would be pleased to have it in his possession.
I think that should be sufficient information to assist you on the mission, Paladin. When you're ready, proceed to the Old North Church and link up with our assault team. They'll provide demolition support and all the firepower you'll need to take the Railroad down. Ad Victoriam, Paladin.
If you're no good at hacking PAM's systems, you should take someone with you who can.
Proximity sensor's green. Getting a 3-second ping back.
Getting a bit of twitch on Prop 3. Adjusting torque.
Now that you've had a chance to roam the Prydwen, what do you think, Paladin?
She's very impressive.
Yes. Quite a feat of engineering, isn't she? It took the Brotherhood's sharpest minds over 2 years to design, and more than twice that to build.
Time well spent, I'd say.
Indeed.
With the Prydwen in our arsenal, we can mobilize our entire division, sending her anywhere that Elder Maxson wishes her to go.
Her presence in the Commonwealth ensures that our mission to defeat the Institute will end in victory.
They don't stand a chance.
Amen to that, soldier. In any event, I hope your tour of the Prydwen helped acclimate you to our way of life up here. I think you'll find that the more familiar you become with both her capabilities and her crew, the longer you'll survive as a member of the Brotherhood.
Report, Knight. Have you handled the situation with Paladin Danse?
I did what had to be done.
That's all I've ever asked of you. Of course. Dance's execution, that traitor, held his quarters and all his... Congratulations.
I'm honored, Elder.
You've earned it by your own actions. Just be aware. I trust you won't... In any event. While the finishing time, report to him ad Victoriam.
Balonet Alpha at 93%.
I'm too busy to speak.
Attention! This is a reminder. All recovered technology must be presented immediately to Proctor Quinlan for evaluation. Anyone found in possession of undocumented technologies will be subject to inquiry and punishment. Attention. This is a notice to all personnel. Please think of your brothers and sisters down below. Thoroughly secure all gear while on the flight deck. Thank you.
I can't talk right now. I have a lot on my mind.
hard to stomach news like that. Are you doing all right? Anything that needs tending to?
By Elder Maxon's orders, all forms of technology should be confiscated or collected.
If Elder Maxon ordered me to follow him,
Can't believe that Dr. Lee's returned to the Brotherhood. I thought she was a traitor.
Here's a classic from Danny Kaye.
Huh?
I prefer laser weapons myself.
Attention all personnel. This is to serve as a reminder. Scribe Naraya's mole rat subjects are not pets. They are crucial military resources. As such, they are not to be fed by any personnel save Scribe Naraya and her team. Any violation of this policy will result in severe discipline.
Fredwin in town. The Institute doesn't have a chance.
Liberating the Commonwealth is a huge responsibility. We'll get the job done.
I don't know about Scribe Naraya. I think she loves her little zoo a bit too much.
she'll be vital to the Brotherhood's success.
Attention all personnel. This is to serve as a reminder. Scribe Naraya's mole rat subjects are not pets. They are crucial military resources. As such, they are not to be fed by any personnel save Scribe Naraya and her team. Any violation of this policy will result in severe discipline.
Like getting radiation sickness. I'd stay away from ferals.
Billie Holiday, folks. Now here's the latest from the Commonwealth. Reports suggest a chem deal gone bad outside Diamond City. Details are scarce, but it sounds like whatever happened, it was pretty violent. While there's no official connection, it has been noted that Diamond City resident Henry Cook went missing at approximately the same time. If we're able to verify any further details of this story, we'll pass them on to you, listeners. Just another day in the Commonwealth, huh, folks? Here's Atom Bomb Baby by the 5 Stars.
Hesitating to pull the trigger on any of the Commonwealth scum can be fatal.
If you find any technical documents, you should bring them.
Attention. Due to increased raider activity, all leave requests to off-base sites have been temporarily suspended. Affected parties will have their leave compensated at the next available opportunity. That is all.
I'll send for you if I need you.
Nice work bringing that road synth back.
Our technology must seem pretty advanced.
Hello, Father. Tell me, what would you do when someone has stolen from you?
That's a loaded question. What's been stolen from you?
Institute property is not often taken from us. We cannot react lightly when it happens. The group that calls themselves the Railroad have acquired several synths from the Institute. Synths that had gone missing in recent months. They no doubt mean to free these synths, in their delusion that synths are somehow sentient beings. You've been in contact with the Railroad, so you're aware of their misguided beliefs.
They mean well. They're only doing what they think is right.
You dealt with Libertalia. That's the result of their selfish, short-sighted plan. Usually they are a minor nuisance, but lately they have become more emboldened. I'm afraid we've reached the point where a response is necessary. We have learned the current location of these synths, and need to reacquire them before the Railroad can hide them.
Sounds pretty simple.
Hopefully, yes. But it's important that we act on this soon, before the Railroad has any indication we've tracked them. We also don't want the Brotherhood of Steel getting wind of the presence of the synths. That would only complicate matters.
There better be something in this for me.
I assure you, this operation will have very significant results in your favor. There will be a courser waiting for you near Bunker Hill. Please find him before barging in.
Sean.
Bunker Hill must be dealt with, if for no other reason than to make a point.
And that, folks, was the ink spots. Now here's the latest from the Commonwealth. Reports suggest a chem deal gone bad outside Diamond City. Details are scarce, but it sounds like whatever happened, it was pretty violent. While there's no official connection, it has been noted that Diamond City resident Henry Cook went missing at approximately the same time. If we're able to verify any further details of this story, we'll pass them on to you listeners. Just another day in the Commonwealth, huh, folks? This one's for the ladies. Mighty Mighty Man by Roy Brown.
I've been waiting for you.
So, what's our situation?
I assume you've been briefed? Our targets are inside. 4 synths under railroad protection. Majority of the settlement is uninvolved and are expected to run for cover. The situation appears to have escalated. A covert approach is likely impossible. We move in, secure the synths, and I relay out with them back to the Institute. Clear?
Yeah, we've got this.
Remember, the synths are the primary objective. Harm must be avoided at all costs. Here are the recall codes. Follow me. SRB intelligence reports indicate that the synths are being... The mission's parameters just changed. I'm going shooting. Requesting backup relay now.
Number. Which is what you've just got to do until the damn door opens.
Oh no!
I've got money. It's yours if you let me go.
F633, initiate reset. Authorization code Delta 62 Arcus.
Yeah, stay gone.
You there, Synth.
Come on, please. Just don't.
B257, initiate reset. Authorization code Theta 93 Stratus. All right, Synth.
Please.
C322, initiate reset. Authorization code Gamma 49 Typhoon. No sudden moves.
Please, no.
Y915, initiate reset. Authorization code Beta 77 Tempest.
That's all of them. Objective complete. Return to the town. Make sure all hostiles have been eliminated. I will relay the synths back to the Institute. Report to Father upon your return, and good work.
Huh?
Sounds like those needles of the battalion are quite a handful.
Good evening.
movement detected. Curious. Is someone present? By order of the Institute, you must be destroyed.
You hit like a rat roach. What's that? Wounded. You have to come out sooner or later.
Detected.
Tex Beneke.
Only one of us survives this! And it won't be you!
That's good news for all of us. The latest word is that they've retaken the cat from back in the day. From everything I've heard, it's no small feat to get them back under their control. Monsters out there. Now that they've set up shop, I'm told Minutemen will be in a better position to help whoever Commonwealth.
Eliminating all hostiles.
That's good to hear, don't you think? This one is Danny Kaye, singing about civilization.
You know, in all my years, I've never set foot outside the Institute. Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason. But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here. The only hope for humanity lies below.
It wasn't always like this. It used to be different.
I can only imagine. Standing here, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you, I was kidnapped from that vault. In truth, the Institute rescued me. Both of us, really.
kept me alive, too.
They did, indeed. I was the perfect candidate. An infant with uncorrupted DNA. But if something were to go wrong, if I died, well, the Institute realized a contingency plan was prudent. Another source of pre-war DNA, preferably related to their primary subject. It only made sense that my parents should fill that role. So you were kept alive and safe within the vault. I'll admit, when I had you released from Vault 111, I had no expectations that you'd survive out here in all this. To not only do so, but manage to find me. To infiltrate the Institute itself. Extraordinary.
So it was you. You let me out.
Yes. It was my decision. Certainly it was no longer necessary to keep you suspended. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts. I had no idea what kind of man you were, you see. Would the Commonwealth corrupt you, as it has everything else? Would you even survive? Perhaps most curious to me, would you, after all this time, attempt to find me? And now I know the answer.
Sean, you need to know. I still love you.
I can see that you do. Well, it's remarkable. There are greater things to come after your success at Bunker Hill. The synths have been safely returned and will be repurposed. Thank you for your work. I hope you weren't at too much risk.
There's always a risk. It was worth it.
I'm glad you see it that way. The railroad remains an annoyance, of course. But they'll be dealt with as necessary. And you, well, you've passed the test, as they say. You have done well. Please, take this as a token of my appreciation. Our appreciation, really. It's time for you to become more involved in the future of the Institute. I'd like you to join me inside. The Directorate is meeting, and you should be there. I'll be waiting. I've seen enough. It's time to go back in.
From what I hear, that road sent over the
Hey, folks, time for some news. No Actually, this time it's more addressing some rumors than anything else. I'm sure many of you have heard tales
I look forward
of
to
the
assisting you further.
a group working to free synths who are trying to escape the Institute. While it's impossible to say for sure,
Nothing to report, sir.
they may actually. Yeah. If so, it makes sense that they're keeping a low profile. It's a dangerous idea, and it's met by some very mixed reactions around the Commonwealth. I guess if you are out there, good luck not getting caught. Next is Crazy He Calls Me by Billie Holiday.
Good, we're all here. I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is he doing here?
I will address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally, things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ao has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. We're still monitoring the increased activity around Fort Independence, but there are no immediate signs we should be concerned. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Excuse me, but, sir, are you sure this is, well, the proper time to be discussing that? Considering, I mean, given all parties present?
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
I have no idea what that is.
I'll admit I'm relieved. It's intended to be something of a classified project, which I'm sure means everyone already knows about it. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
What kind of compromises?
We have at times had to rely on drawing power from above-ground installations. It risks personnel and equipment, but no longer. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever. It will ensure not just our survival, but our prosperity.
Can you tell me more about this reactor?
Certainly. It was originally built for the Commonwealth Institute of Technology before the war, but was only for testing. Over the years, we've advanced the technology, made a great many improvements, and are finally nearly ready to activate it. The reactor is close to ready, but recent tests have determined we have a few tasks ahead of us. Thus, we come to Phase 3, and to how you will help.
Sir?
Yes, Dr. Ao. Previously, we would rely on Kellogg for above-ground operations, yes? Well, he is gone. While I'm not overly fond of putting my own father in harm's way, he has proven more than capable of handling himself.
Yes, but...
This is not a matter for debate. Now, there is one more subject that requires discussion.
I don't know that this is the time.
Dr. Holdren, it is time. Please, as I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful. I'm sorry to say I am dying.
No!
Can't be
Please,
serious!
everyone, please, I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you, but we're running out of time.
You're dying?
I'm afraid so. A very aggressive form of cancer. Believe me when I say we've done everything we can. We can talk more later. Right now, the future of the Institute is at stake. The Institute cannot survive without leadership. The Directorate must continue to govern with the best interest of all in mind. To that end, I am naming my father as my successor.
Oh, boy.
You can't be serious!
Really?
How can you possibly justify this? He isn't one of us. He isn't even a scientist.
Ignoring your borderline, insubordinate tone, I will simply say this. The Institute has enough scientists. What it needs is a leader. I believe my father has already proven himself more than capable in that regard. This will conclude this meeting. Thank you.
It's great to have you here.
We don't usually welcome outsiders. I hope you can appreciate your good fortune.
Dr. Fillmore.
Hi there. Something I can help you with?
It must be a challenge to meet the power demands of a place like this.
Absolutely. We scratch and scrape for every precious ounce of voltage that we can. Over the years, we've learned a few tricks that help supplement our power budget. When necessary, we can tap into select sources on the surface. We take only what we need, of course. Fortunately, Advanced Systems is always working on new solutions to generate more energy. It's a good thing, too, because the demand is always increasing. You don't even want to know what a single use of the molecular dematerializer consumes.
Perhaps someday our synths can reclaim the Commonwealth.
I had no idea.
I know this is... well, it's a lot to take in at once.
I'm sorry, Father. I hope it wasn't too presumptuous of me to put you in charge without even asking first.
What would it mean to be in charge?
Most divisions of the Institute are fairly autonomous, perfectly capable of functioning without intervention. Where those divisions interact, however, problems can arise. You'd lead the Directorate in setting policy, resolving disputes, and the like.
There's no question that some of the Directorate, and the Institute at large, will need reassurances about your appointment.
That's why I'd like you to take charge of this latest operation. Dr. Fillmore can fill you in on the details. There are hard decisions ahead, for all of us, but for you especially. I know that you'll do the right thing.
Winona Harris, folks. Let's hope his grandma got the help she needed.
I can't express how truly humbling it is to stand in your presence.
My daddy says your father.
Hey, folks, time for some news. No, actually, this time it's more addressing some rumors. I'm sure many of you have heard
Just as you
tales
gave life to
of
Father,
the railroad.
he gave life to many of us.
Working to free synths who are trying to escape the Institute. While it's impossible to say for sure, they may actually be out there. If so, makes sense
Busy
that
day
they're
for you,
keeping a
isn't
low
it?
profile.
Well, it's about to get busier.
It's a dangerous
You're going to lead this
idea, and
operation,
it's met
I'm
by
told.
some very mixed reactions around the Commonwealth. I guess if you are out there, good luck not getting caught. Here's Ella Fitzgerald with another classic, Undecided, which is something I used to be quite often. Then I made up my mind. Decided to be cool.
What the hell is this operation about?
Hey, relax. We wouldn't send you off without the proper information. Recent events have upset our timetable. Getting the reactor online has become our #1 priority. It needs to be running, well, yesterday. We're going to have to cut some corners. I'm not thrilled, but it means we'll need to rely on some pre-war tech. You're going to the Mass Fusion building to acquire a beryllium agitator for us.
Consider it done.
I'll consider it done when I've got it in my hands. I'm going with you.
Sounds good. I'd appreciate the company.
Not as much as I'd appreciate coming back in one piece. I don't like going above ground unless there's no other option. But here we are, with our options dwindling quickly. Not to put more pressure on you, but we have to move quickly on this. Word is that the Brotherhood is nosing around the area. We don't want them getting the agitator before we do. Head on up to the relay, and I'll meet you there.
Allie.
So, what can I...
Nice work bringing that rogue synth back.